Should you take Social Security early? Now let's dive into this. I just listened to a podcast where a guy asked the host if he should take Social Security because he's worried about means testing. He's worried about if he doesn't get the vax, all this stuff. He's worried that they're going to reduce it. All this, man. It's already means tested. All right, Social Security is already means tested when it comes to taxation of the benefits. That's just a fact. They're not going to reduce benefits. Now, maybe they'll reduce it for Bill Gates, but if you're not Bill Gates and other multimillionaires, they're just not going to reduce it, man. I'm sorry. The vast majority of people rely a significant amount of their retirement income on Social Security. The vast majority of people who take Social Security are the largest voting bloc in the United States. And many of those people swung the election for the Trumpster and then swung it back to Biden because those people are worried more than anything about Social Security and Medicare. That is what their primary vote is. It isn't about abortion. It isn't about all this other crap. It's about Social Security and Medicare. It's just that simple. So get over it, this idea that they're going to take Social Security away. They're not. So the ultimate question is, should you take it early? Now, I'm going to share with you why I don't think you should. So, again, each situation is completely unique to you. Just talked to a lady today, and she had watched a bunch of my videos, and she hired me as a financial client. Wonderful husband and wife. And she said, hey, some of these things you say don't seem to be applicable to us relative to what you're recommending people do on your YouTube channel. I said, yes, because the YouTube is broad. Specific client interactions are not broad. They're the furthest thing from broad. They're the narrowest there possibly could be because we're talking about these two people. The YouTube stuff is broad, if that makes sense. All right, so just be advised. What I say here is not for everybody. All right, people say, I get it. There's always a unique perspective. I get it. In the overall context, I say you should not take Social Security early. Let me show you why. So we go to the U.S. Department of Treasury, and we look at the Treasury yield curves, and this is only going to go back to 1990. So we're just going to go back to 1990 to get a gauge what the rates were looking like back then. And it'll make sense here in just a second when I explain it. All right, so we go to 1990. January 1990, we see we had a 10-year Treasury at 7.94. We had a 5-year Treasury at 7.87. So get that. Remember, that's roughly 8%. Roughly 8%. Roughly 8%. Why do I keep harping on that? All right, so then we're going to go to our 10-year Treasury back using my man Daniel Coolbert's spreadsheets here at 55e.co, 55e.co. Actually, let's just go there real quick. I'll show you. You too could get your own spreadsheets from Daniel. Here are the free ones. Here are the current spreadsheets he charges for. We're using the bucket one right here, which we're going to go. I'm not even sure if this is the most updated version 4. But we're just going to put in, let's put, I guess we'll use 1-year Treasury bills. That's fine. All right, so we're going to put 1-year Treasury bills, and we're going to go back to 1983. 82 is when legislation was first announced, proposed, and we're going to come over here to Treasury bills. There we go. And we're going to go to 1983, right? 82. All right. Oh, 1-month Treasury bills, 10.5, 8.8, 9.8, 1-month T-bills. All right. So you can see 8.8, 8.8, 8.8. Why do I keep harping on that? Let's go to 10-year Treasuries, and we're going to look at the same thing. 1983 on 10-year Treasuries, right there. 10-year Treasury was at 10.5. Because what is the delayed earnings credits, my friends? The delayed earnings credits, for every year you delay taking Social Security, you get an 8% bump each and every year. It's simple interest in a way, but it's also compounded in a way too, because there's cost of living adjustment, which is compounded based on your previous year's Social Security benefit. So we got simple interest, but it's compounded given the cost of living adjustment. So what that means is you're getting an 8% simple interest rate each and every year you delay taking Social Security until you're the age of 70. Now, it's not 8% from 62 to 63 to 64. I think it's like 7.5 or something like that. At the end of the day, there's a significant interest rate boost you get from delaying to take Social Security. And they're going to change that, man. I'm just telling you right now. That is one of the things they will do to change that. So it'd be idiotic not to, frankly. I mean, my goodness. Why are they giving delayed earnings credits at 8% when the 10-year Treasury right now is at 1.6? When they came up with the 8% delayed earnings credits in 1983, when the legislation was passed for the first increment of taxation of Social Security benefits, the 10-year Treasury, we just said, was 10.5. All right, and the 5 years, what, 7.9, 1990 was 7.94. So, point being is you are getting the benefit of the delayed earnings credits today based on previous years' high interest rates. Not to take advantage of that, I find to be foolhardy. Now, everyone has a reason not to. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. But not to take advantage of delayed earnings credits, I just don't understand, especially if you're married and your surviving spouse, in this case, old Shar, is 4 years younger than me, and she's a lady. She's going to survive me probably by 10 years. For me not to take delayed earnings credits not only hurts me, but it's going to hurt her as well. Just remember, that is based on the previous historical rates of the bond yields back then. Now those bond yields are significantly lower, and as such, you're getting such a smoking deal on delaying taking Social Security. I just wish people would see it like that. And don't forget, what are we projecting for stocks? Vanguard projecting stocks for the next 10 years at 6% a year. That's with complete risk, with a 15 to 18% standard deviation. And standard deviation isn't the up and down. It's the standard deviation is the volatility around the average. All right, so one standard deviation, we'll just say 15% because I can make that in my head. So that means 67% of the time in a typical bell curve, you would get a portfolio, if it returns 6% a year, 67% of the time, your portfolio will be up 21% or down 9%. Is that right? 6 minus 15? Yeah, I think 9, something like that. Let's just say 10. So it'll be up 20, down 10, something like that. All right, that is one standard deviation. 2/3 of the time, your portfolio will be down 10 or up 20. 99.8% of the time, in a typical bell curve, your portfolio will be down 40 or up, 30 plus 20, 50. I think I got that right, something like that. That's how the bell curve works. So yes, you could get more rate of return with stocks, but if we are assuming an average rate of return of 6 with a downside of -30 on any given year, and then we turn around and say, with Social Security, you're guaranteed 8% with a cost of living adjustment that's compounded, it seems like a no-brainer to me. So that's why I don't recommend you take Social Security early. All right, love to hear your thoughts. I'm sure there'll be some. See ya.